Hey, it's Christine. At the moment, I can only do an avatar face cam, so enjoy that. Please enjoy this hour-long inflation TikTok compilation, hearing from the people themselves on this worldwide issue. I will soon be making a commentary version of this, so I'll just take this for now. Thank you.
$98 goddamn dollars at Costco to fill up my tank. $98.
Huge news this week that the United Nations had a vote on whether or not food was a right, and finding out that the United States is the only country that said no really doesn't make me want to go outside. It doesn't make me want to pay my bills. It doesn't make me want to do anything. Honestly, it's lengthening the deep sadness that I feel living in this country that already existed. Food isn't a fucking right.
Yo, this world is so backwards. I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I'm tired of not being able to afford daycare because it's the cost of my weekly pay for one day. I'm tired of spending $200+ a week just to feed my family. I'm tired of filling my gas tank twice a week when I go to work twice a week and work from home the other days. I'm tired of working 2 jobs just to live the bare minimum, just to make it. This economy is not set up for families or working moms. I'm just tired. I'm tired. But you make too much for government assistance, so we can't approve you. But you don't make enough to live, so...
I'm literally on the cusp of really just giving the fuck up. I'm so exhausted of pretending to be okay, and then people still demanding me to be more, to be bigger, to be better for their own personal enjoyment, but not for my own mental fucking health. I find it very exhausting as a woman, as a black woman, as a queer black woman, to have to be everything for everybody. Women want me to be their best friend and confidant and their advice giver and leech all of my energy to bring them joy. Men want me to give them seduction. They want me to smile. They want me to only give the right answers and allow them to be in charge. Society wants me to shut up, go to work, be quiet, do as I'm told. My family wants me to be a support system, consistently giving all of myself as if I haven't become a completely new person since I've been an adult. My boss needs me to be attentive, detail-oriented, focused, as if the world around me isn't completely crumbling into shit and I don't have enough money to pay my goddamn bills or clean water to drink in some areas of America, and then we still have to just smile and pretend like everything's okay. I just have to give too much. It's too fucking much, and I'm really tired. I have this constant need for escapism because I'm trying to bleed out of the skin of capitalist, individualist society, but I am sucked back in because I'm forced to, and I'm really about to quit on y'all and leave this fucking place. I want to leave. I want to leave America. I want to leave corporate world. I want to leave the idea of how I should be a woman. I just want to be. I just want to be without any transcriptions of how I should be. Can I do that without any stipulations of anyone getting pissed about what I can and cannot do? That's what I want to do. And I'm about to do that shit, and I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks.
And I don't know how I'm supposed to be happy with the fact that the average cost to raise 3 children per month is over $4,000.
Pretty, you're such a beautiful girl, and trust me, like, I love it. I eat it up. I love it, you know. I take pride in taking good care of myself, and I will actually be watching my face. I'm not just going to only use these wipes, but today I got paid. My check was a little bit over $2,000. I did 10 hours overtime because that's what I'm allowed to do. And then I got a $24 check from the second job that I just started at the mall. I paid my rent. That was like $1,500. $1,553. I paid my car note. That was $406. That left me with $81. I went and got gas because I was on E. That left me with $33. And I went to the grocery store to get a can of soup and some bread and some stuff, and so I can eat dinner. And I went to get some Cheez-Its because I love Cheez-Its. And they're normally $2.99 a box, but they were like almost $4. And I cry because it's like $4. Like, who pays for $4 per box of crackers?
So are we just all gonna pretend that we're fine? Because the more people that I talk to, the more young couples in their like 20s and 30s, or even like singles, everyone seems to be having a hard time making ends meet right now. And I'm just really wondering why this doesn't feel like 2008. Like, I remember 2008 as a 9-year-old because everybody was talking about how everything was so expensive and everybody was broke and there were no jobs. Like, I remember that as a child. And now as an adult, I'm like, wait, am I the only one struggling? Like, it has just occurred to me in the last month that I am not the only one. My husband and I have 3 degrees between the two of us, and we have 3 to 5 years of experience in our fields, still cannot get a job that makes life comfortable. So I'm just saying, I don't know how to fix it. That's above my pay grade. I don't know. Hopefully smarter people than me are working on that. But I just kind of want us to know that, like, it's not us. Like, I think our parents told us to save money, and, like, you need to save, you're being irresponsible, or you need to, make sure you're financially stable, or you're being irresponsible. Okay, well, what happens when I pay for all my basic needs and have nothing to save? So I'm just saying, it's not our fault. And simply to exist in 2023 is expensive. And if you're feeling any kind of shame about your financial situation, if you are getting up, going to work every day, doing your best to put food on the table and put a roof over your family's head, then it's not your fault.
Hi, yeah, good morning. Just checking in. My millennial families, especially the ones with kids, are you okay? Are you okay? You're not okay. I know you're not okay. We're drowning. We're drowning. We're never going to make it. This generation is never going to make it, okay? I just watched 5 TikToks in a row. I swear to you, 5 TikToks about how our country is in the greatest depression it's ever been in, and they're calling it the silent depression because we are all just silently drowning. Okay? Let me give you some examples. I'm going to be real transparent here, okay? When I first moved out, I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. $850 a month, utilities included. Fast forward to now, I have 4 kids of my own and a bonus son. We have 5 kids all together. When we started applying for apartments, most wanted you to pay $300, $400, $500 to even apply for the apartment, to reject you and then tell you, we don't give you that money back. Awesome. So then we did find somewhere that approved us. Okay, 2nd floor of a house, no central air. We had to buy 4 AC units when we moved in here. Okay, 2 bedrooms and a loft. Some places wouldn't even rent to us because they said you have too many kids and you need a bigger space. We can't afford a bigger space, okay? We pay $1,600 a month. Again, 2nd floor of a house, no central air, 2 bedrooms and a loft. $1,600. Groceries, food, a basic human need. I get $569 a month in food stamps. Very grateful for that. It's a huge help. But I still have to go to 2 food pantries a week to be able to feed my family. Not to mention I didn't even get them this month because I did everything I was supposed to for my recertification. They messed up on their end. I didn't get them. So now it's the waiting game. You get them back when we figure it out. That's what I was told at social services the other day. So we decided to go to Dollar General right down the street, the dollar store. Get us some necessities, get us through until we get my food stamps back. 5 bags of groceries, $110. The only meat I got was 1 roll of ground beef. Childcare. I'm getting ready to go back to work. Why? Because we're never going to make it if I don't. But almost 3/4 of my income is going to go to childcare. I have a 4-month-old baby. I can't be a stay-at-home mom anymore. It's impossible. It is impossible to be a stay-at-home mom in this economy. They told us to get educated. I have an associate's degree. I just applied to go back and get my bachelor's. Credit hours are over $300 now. That's triple what I paid for my associates. We are never going to be able to buy a house in this economy. The American dream that we lived with our parents that had one parent working, mom stayed home, they had multiple vehicles, 4-wheelers, we went on vacations, all that, that's gone. They were the wealthiest middle-class generation that probably this country's ever seen. They climbed up the ladder and pulled it right up behind them. I'm frustrated.
This is what it's like living paycheck to paycheck. So my husband's in the military, right? We don't make a lot of money, so we live paycheck to paycheck, and I coupon like a motherfucker to help cut down on our grocery spending because groceries are expensive as fuck right now. And we weren't doing too bad. You know, we had enough money to pay our bills and to buy our groceries with some coupons involved, a lot of coupons involved. But we still had just enough to survive, essentially. And of course, when you're finally doing okay, something always has to happen. So today, my husband's phone broke, and he has only had this phone for 1.5 years. So I was incredibly pissed off because we have our phone bill through T-Mobile, and we were 3 months away from paying off both of our phones. And we have a really high phone bill through T-Mobile. Not gonna lie, T-Mobile's really fucking expensive. Even if you're on the military Magenta plan, it's still expensive. So we were planning on paying off our phones and then just switching over to Mint Mobile. And if you don't know what Mint Mobile is, Ryan Reynolds owns it, and it's a really cheap phone company and honestly really great. We know a lot of people who have them, and so we were planning on switching over to cut down on our phone bill so that we can save a little bit of extra money and not have to struggle so much. But of course, my husband's phone had to fucking break today. It wasn't turning on, wasn't charging, nothing, it just broke. And it had been having issues for the past week, but we were just praying and hoping that it would hold on for another 3 months. And no, we didn't have insurance on the phones because we couldn't afford the extra cost in our phone bill each month. Because again, we live paycheck to paycheck. Every time my husband gets paid, that paycheck is gone in 24 hours to all of our bills and groceries. And of course, this had to happen today, the day before my husband gets paid, so he hasn't gotten paid yet. And he can't go without a phone because again, he's active duty military and he gets called in a lot, and they can't call him if his phone is broken. So I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Because we had to take our credit card that we just started paying down, okay? We just started paying down because that bitch was maxed out. Because before I started couponing, we were using it for groceries to survive. So that credit card was maxed out and we were just starting to pay it down. And we had to use that credit card to pay his phone off the rest of the way today and buy a whole new phone and pay for, you know, you have to pay for the taxes and stuff up front, which was like, I think $172, some shit like that. So yeah, we had to do that today. And so that credit card is now maxed out again. And so we're just back in debt again. And instead of leaving T-Mobile in 3 months to go to a cheaper phone plan to save us like $55 a month, we now have to stay with T-Mobile for another 12 months until this new phone is paid off. And people can try and say, how about just make extra payments every month on the phone? We can't afford that. Again, we live paycheck to paycheck. So yeah. That's what it's fucking like. Y'all, it's so stressful out here. Fuck. I don't understand how the other 64% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck are surviving right now. Because if anything happens, you're fucked.
You wanna know what's insane? My grandfather came to this country with $1 in his pocket. $1. $1 US. And he made for himself, within his 60 years of life, a beautiful life. Successful. He owned multiple homes, started multiple businesses, put all of his children through college, paid for their weddings, and these were elaborate, expensive, luxurious weddings. Now, my mother, My father, successful. They have, a life for themselves. They've owned multiple businesses. They have, vehicles and are able to pay for their life expenses. They put all of us through college. They're still putting my siblings through college. And if and when I want a wedding, they'll be able to fund that for me. At least I think so, right? My aunts, both of them, they have homes. They have, good lives for themselves. Nobody is living shittily. But the crazy thing is, I cannot envision myself ever owning a home, ever being able to afford a car or pay bills. And it's crazy, okay? I have a full-time job. I work sometimes I'm working 55 hours a week. Sometimes I work more than that. Like, I literally am always working, constantly working. And in my mind, it is just super inconceivable to ever meet the threshold of being super financial and stable in the finances that I have to, one, afford a life that I think is A, sustainable, but also comfortable, and B, like, do anything outside of the realm of bare necessity. And I told my husband this today, and he was like, you know what? I feel like what our parents achieved yesterday will never be our reality. And like, it's gonna just take us a lot longer to get there. And I don't know why people constantly want to talk about the work ethic of young people. Because if anything, I feel like young people are just constantly working. But the only difference here is that you're constantly working, and for what? At the end of my pay cycle, I have money, but I don't have any of the other things that older generations were afforded. I don't have the security. I don't have the promise of being able to build a life for myself. Do you guys realize what it means that so many young people don't even have in their mind the concept of being able to be homeowners? And it's not just a thought, right? Like, that's the reality. Like, the cost of living is outpacing wages. People cannot provide for the families that they do have, let alone start families at all. And like, it's just so sad, because if you talk to somebody that's of a different generation, not, millennials or Gen Z or Gen X, whatever the fuck we are, if you talk to a boomer, like, they're just gonna say that you're not working hard enough. But there's no amount of hard work that can get us out of the predicament that we're in. And it's super scary, and it's like frustrating. So
first off, I know that it is way worse than this, what I'm about to show you, in other parts of the United States, but I have to share this. This was posted in my local community page this morning. Available for rent. 2,500 square foot house, 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2 master bedrooms. Kitchen has granite countertops, stainless steel, they've done paint, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff that they think is like gonna incentivize you, but why would it incentivize me if I don't actually own it? You can only have small pets. Renters responsible for all utilities, no smoking inside the house. There is an apartment in the basement of the house that will be rented separately, so you don't even get the full house. $2,200 per month with a deposit of $2,200 and a pet deposit of $300. Minimum 720 credit score, 3 times the income to rent. As much as I hate math, let's do some. $2,200 a month times 12 is $26,400. When you add in that deposit and the pet fee, $28,900. So you might as well say 30 grand for the year to rent this place. When you do $2,200 a month times 12 and then times it by 3, you get $79,200. And then if you add in that deposit and the pet fee, again, $81,700. So let's go ahead and say that to rent this place, you have to make minimum $82,000 a year. Now, I don't know what you guys consider a small town, but this was the population of my county 2 years ago. 37,188. And the reason I say that is because it's very rare that I go on Indeed in my area and find a job offering more than $13 to $14 an hour. If you make $80,000, $90,000 a year, you're probably going to buy. You're going to buy before you absolutely cannot buy at this point. So the reason I tie in the population and the general wage in this area is because the people that are making $13 to $14 an hour, yeah, they can't afford that, but they're the people that are renting. And just to further this perspective, I quit my last company after 3 years. I had gone from part-time to full-time and switched departments, worked my way up, okay? And as someone in accounting, I was only making about $27,000 a year. That is a wage that I was making working as a supervisor at Walmart about 6 to 7 years ago. Stagnant. Wages around here are stagnant. Again, I know it's worse. I know it's worse. Some of you are going to look at that and go, that's a pretty good deal. But knowing my area, that blew my mind to read. That landlord is going to make easily $30,000 just on that, and they didn't disclose the amount of the basement apartment underneath either, so they're probably getting another $20,000, let's say, on that. I'm just throwing out numbers now. Eat the fucking rich. And if you're a landlord that's doing this kind of shit, eat you too.
Hi, I'm 28 years old, married with kids, and we're moving in with my parents. And thank you so much to Inflation for sponsoring today's video.
How am I even going to feed my kids with these food prices and the gas prices for my husband to get to work? Like, it just blows my mind.
I don't know about you, but something is seriously wrong with this economy. And I'm not kidding. Like, I've never seen prices so high in my entire life. You're watching what is it like to live in America now? It's crazy. I don't even know if I can afford life.
Y'all, in Las Vegas in 2019, the average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment was $841. In 2023, that average rent is $1,309. 3 times the rent in 2019 was like $30K. 3 times the rent now is like $47K. Why y'all do that? For what reason? What is the point?
You know how everyone's freaking out that the rent is too damn high? Well, it could actually be because of one company's algorithm. A lot of people in the United States are living in apartments that are owned by property management companies, and those companies actually use pricing software to set their rental prices. And ProPublica, which is an incredible journalism organization, has discovered that there is one company that is using an algorithm that basically is setting the price for all of these large property management companies when it comes to charging for rent. And that company is called RealPage, and there are 4 Democratic senators that are now accusing the company of colluding with landlords in order to inflate rental prices. This is actually so serious that the Department of Justice is looking into this as well. Critics say that the algorithm allows competitors to all raise their prices, which inflates the cost of rent in the market. If you think your rent is abnormally high, it probably is.
So I just got denied for an apartment. I have to move out of my beautiful, big ass 2-bedroom apartment with a foyer and a separate kitchen and windows in every room. We're not gonna talk about it. Just got denied for an apartment because with me and my friend who are gonna be moving in together, her credit score is not high enough for us to qualify together, but my income is not high enough for me to qualify on my own. Although I have a 740 credit score, I have savings, and I make 30 times the rent. But because I don't make 40 times the rent on my own, although we make more than 40 times the rent together, we don't qualify. We don't deserve to have a home according to New York City real estate. And I'm just like, I don't understand, because it's like, so credit is powerful enough to make you a poor applicant when it's not good, but it's not powerful enough to make you a good applicant when it's good?
It's absolutely ridiculous, but how about you?
That's funny. This 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 900 square foot apartment with a loft with a balcony and a garage in North Orange County, Southern California, runs me $2,300 a month. $2,300 a month. Now you might be saying, well, Matt, why don't you just move somewhere cheaper? Something cheaper. Too bad I fucking can't. I've been grandfathered into this lease. When I moved in 2017, I paid $1,900 a month, and it's gone up ever since then. But if I were to find any other apartment that was anywhere comparable to this, or worse, I'd be paying about the same, if not significantly a lot more. This apartment right now, if somebody leased this apartment right now, they'd cost them like $3,200. So I got a lot of comments like this that were like, move out of the state. You're in California, that's why. Move out of state. I can't. I'm a teacher here in California. I'm credentialed only in the state of California. If I were to move to another state, I would have to go back to school to get credentialed in that state, and I would lose a significant amount of my salary because most other states, if not all other states, do not pay as well as California does, and does not have the salary growth that California does. Because you might say, oh, cost of living. Yeah, sure, I can move to, bumfuck nowhere, Alabama, but I'd be making $25,000 on a salary that will never, ever grow. Whereas here, starting, I make, $60K and can grow to well above six figures over the course of my career. So, stuck here in California, and, I don't really want to leave either.
It's been 2 months since we first started looking for a house, and it's been a bit rough. At the end of May, our landlords told us that they would be putting the house we rent up for sale. 2 weeks later, it sold, and 2 weeks after that, we received notice from the new owners that they would be moving in. The only way that new owners can kick current tenants out is if they actually move into the property themselves or one of their direct family members, and that's what they're doing. So we were given notice and have to be out of the house by August 31st. We are in a complete housing crisis right now, and I can attest to that because finding a new place to rent was one of the most stressful things I think I've gone through in a very long time. And it wasn't just finding the house. I mean, that's very difficult because right now there's 9 people looking for every 1 house available, but that wasn't the main problem. It honestly blew my mind how we were being treated in some cases. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some amazing landlords out there, and I'm hopeful that we found one because we did find a place. Some of the landlords were very challenging. For example, there was a house that we really liked. It came up on a Friday. I messaged them right away and they said we could see it the next day at 11. The thing is that I own a company. We have a big conference that happens every year, and it was happening that day. I'm speaking in front of over 100 people, something I just couldn't put off. So I messaged them back right away and I said, I'm really sorry. I've got a prior engagement. Is there any possible way? I'll do it first thing in the morning. I'll do it late at night. I'll do it any other time during the week. And they responded with a one-liner. I already told you, you could see the house tomorrow at 11. Okay. The other thing that happened is prices kept going up. So somebody would post for, say, 5,000, which is mind-blowing, but anyway, 5,000, message right away, yes, you can come see the house. 10 minutes later, I'd get a notification that the price had increased to 5,500. 10 minutes later, the price had increased to 6,000. 10 minutes later, 6,200. This happened over and over. Some of them who wouldn't say anything about it, and then there was others who would say, oh yeah, sorry, there was so much interest that we decided we underpriced it and we've increased the price.
Okay, about to take y'all on a tour. My apartment was $725 when I moved in. $850 is the last thing it was. This is now $1,279. 1-bedroom apartment. You walk in, spacious, it's beautiful actually. Cool, right? Like, looks good. Little washer dryer hookup. We bedroom 1, right? Like, this is apartment 1. No, when I moved in it was $725. As I move out, it's $850 for this beautiful place. $1,279 now. Same little setup, The walls are still white. The deck has not changed. They ain't even sweep it. The kitchen, okay, upgrade. New appliances, we went from white to black, from white to steel to steel. But you come through here and ain't nothing changed. They got an upgraded washer. Okay, we see y'all. Bedroom, it's still the same. Doorknobs on the bedroom, still the same. Bathroom, okay, upgrade. This is nice, but honestly, I prefer my big ass mirror over this little square thing anyway. New tub, that's it. But y'all, that was both apartments door to door. Do you think it's worth the $500, almost $600 increase? Because remember I said $725 when I first moved in 3 years ago. $1,279.
So I went apartment shopping today, and I actually went to these units in person to speak with the leasing agents, and I want to show you the economy, the housing market that, not even housing, the rental market that I'm supposed to just be able to live in comfortably, right? Okay, let's go over this. Let's just take a look. We've got 406 square feet, right? It's a studio, 1 bathroom, 406 square feet of living space, $2,200. That does not include utilities that you have to pay for yourself. I have to pay for water, gas, electric, and trash in this complex already, like the studio. And then on top of that, I have to make 2.5 times the rent. They're wanting me to make $6,000-$7,000 a month in order for me to even just be approved to live in 406 square feet of living space by myself. This is me. I'm single. I'm alone. I've been single my entire life. I have to figure out how to find a place to live, right?
Part 2 of things that I have given up as the cost of living increases.
Oh my god, I love this game. For me, number 1 is lunch. 3 meals a day. What am I, a millionaire? There is now breakfast and dinner, lunch, a 3rd meal every day. Yeah, absolutely the fuck not. She mentioned fresh fruit. My number 2 is fresh anything. I have frozen berries, tinned fruit, frozen vegetables, frozen meat and fish, fresh food, insane. Number 3 would be prescription medications, medicines that I've been prescribed for my chronic illnesses, for my disabling health conditions. It is no longer possible for me to afford all of them, so some of them had to get cut. Number 4, therapy. I used to go every fortnight to do like EMDR and stuff to treat my PTSD. We're also starting to figure out how I learn to live in the world now that I know that I'm autistic and that I have all these sensory needs and other shit, but I can't afford that anymore, even with the Medicare rebate. And the last thing I've had to give up is hope.
Do you know why people steal groceries in this economy? It's because this costs $23. This salad is $10. These 4 mozzarella balls are $5.16, and this little balanced snack, almost $9. 23 bucks for that. Also, tell me why every one of these items individually is more expensive than ice cream. $4.99 for ice cream, which is unhealthy and you shouldn't be promoting people to buy. But it's more expensive than all of these items individually. $2.49. Does anybody remember when Kraft dinner boxes were 50 cents a box? $2.50 a box now? It's fucking absurd. That used to be like the ultimate poor man's meal, and now I can't afford it.
Oprah thinks she has figured out why Americans are so unhappy.
Why do you think we're in a happiness slump in America?
Ooh, I will tell you, one of the most profound reasons, I think, is because
we're broke. We are broke. The system is broken. We can't afford the food that we want. Numbers in my bank account. A full tank of gas, 4 good tires, no oil change. Nobody has all 3. We are poor. We need vacations. You bought 2,000 acres of land in Hawaii on discount. When the Maui fires were going on, you didn't open up your private roads. Could have saved a lot of lives. Obvious land grabs. Give the land back to the people. Had the nerve to ask us for money. We all can't afford healthcare or housing. Literally anything. We can't afford it. Apparently your floor plan illiterate. Can't read the room. Words like inflation, recession, depression, debt, student loans, government lies, corporate greed, billionaire, trillionaire, teaching our children bullshit, politics, Democrat, Republican, either party. Please stop playing in our faces. Anything out of your mouth besides we are poor is the wrong answer. We are broke.
I don't think there's anything wrong with adults living with their parents.
I don't think people understand. Right now, the average amount of money you have to make in order to live by yourself is $60,000 a year, meaning you have to get paid $30 an hour. Come here. And that is just to cover rent. That's not including furniture. That's not including other bills. That's not including car issues, right? If you were to put all that together, you'd have to make about $75,000 a year, meaning you have to get paid over $35 or $40 an hour. So if you know somebody that is making you feel bad because you live at home with their parents, unless they are making $40 an hour at their job, they're definitely lying to you about their living situation. They either live in a closet or they have 4 roommates. There's nothing wrong with staying with your parents right now, because at this moment in time, the new generation, they can't save any money. The only thing going up is the cost of things, not the actual payment towards their lives.
Since everything's expensive now, I've made an executive life decision. I'm gonna start stealing again.
I live in Australia, and I am consistently seeing in the media stories about the record-breaking theft that is happening at grocery stores, and then seeing all of the technology that these grocery store chains are rolling out to catch people doing it. And then I'm seeing separate articles about the record-breaking profits that these grocery store chains are celebrating. And not once, and correct me if I'm wrong, send it my way to like give me some fucking hope for journalism these days, but not once have I seen a story, I don't know, pair these two together and maybe ask the question, why are people resulting to thievery, to potentially altering the course of their lives just so that they can, I don't know, eat, feed the fam? People are, risking their lives by stealing, or risking their lives by not eating enough because they can't afford to eat, or they're getting sick from foraging. We live in a nightmare!
Good morning. Since nobody's saying this, I'm gonna tell you myself. I don't think you guys are understanding what's going on right now. Christmas is canceled. 2023 Christmas is canceled. Unless you're a millionaire, of course. That doesn't concern you. For us poor folks out here that was trying to make ends meet to make our kids happy, Christmas is canceled. You know what else is canceled? Thanksgiving is canceled. You want to know why Thanksgiving is canceled? As of November 1st, everything we used to buy for $1 is not going to be worth no damn dollar. Alexa, what are some things we import from China?
From businesstoday.in. The major import items from China are telecom instruments, computer hardware and peripherals, fertilizers, electronic components/instruments, project goods, organic chemicals, drug intermediates, consumer electronics, electrical machinery, etc.
She said etc. That means there's more, right? Everything you used to buy, let's say the phone's like $900 to $1,000, is gonna go up to at least, let me get my calculator. One second. So a phone right now is going for $1,200. That's like lowballing it, right? Times 50. A phone's gonna be worth $6,000. Is that right? No, that's wrong. $60,000 for a fucking telephone, bitch. If y'all don't get your flip phones like right the fuck now, you're fucked. You're fucked. Every simple little thing we used to get for the low, multiply it by 50 or 55. I don't know how they're gonna go about it, but they're not importing shit to us at the low price. My only question right now is my car going to stay the price that it is right now? Because if it's not, I might as well start biking right now, because I'm not paying for it if it goes up any higher. My only advice would be to bulk up, stack up on as much as you can between now and October, because as of November 1st, babes, we're fucked. Hence why Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, bitch, that shit's over. That shit's over. Your New Year's November now. Okay? Your New Year's November. We're fucked. We're big time fucked, bitch. Don't buy anything you don't need. Yo, wigs are gonna be expensive as shit. I need to order some now. A wig goes for $200 right now. $10,000 for a wig. Cut it down. Half of us don't even have $10,000 US in the savings account. They're not telling us shit. They're not telling us. They're not saying this on the news. They want to calm us down. Okay, remember when I asked Alexa, what are the things that we import? She mentioned drugs. Think about the people that are reliant on certain specific drugs. The insurance companies.
I'm having trouble hearing. Can you say that again?
I ain't talking to you, ho. Can you think about the amount of people that can't even afford their fucking health insurance and their copay? Can you imagine? Is health insurance gonna cover inflation? That's a valid question. I have to think about this, because when you think about people going through withdrawals after being hooked on something that the doctors prescribed them, everyone's gonna go fucking nuts, bro. As of November, they don't give a fuck. If they don't burn us to death, we will kill ourselves. That's what they're banking on. Y'all, I'm leaving. But then where am I gonna go? Because other places are on fire too. And these niggas got lasers. So I'm kind of fucked here too. Hold on. I gotta think about this, but I had to tell you guys. I had to put it in your radar, because if you can't afford something now, imagine how you're gonna be able to afford it in November, babes.
So I want to quickly respond to this comment because it's a very good question. So I'm going to use Russia as an example because that's where we trade. That's one of the countries that's involved in BRICS. And I already used the China example in my last video. So Russia is going to be a new example. So I went on the Office of the United States Trade Representative website, and they were able to inform me of the things that we import from Russia. And one of those things is fertilizers. That was also mentioned that we trade fertilizers with China as well. But $1 US over 50 bricks, when you do that conversion and you look into how much fertilizer we get from Russia, according to the website, as of 2022, we trade $963 million worth of fertilizer from Russia. Russia imports $963 million US dollars worth of fertilizer to us. So when we pay them that, we then give those fertilizers to Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, Amazon, all those things, and then they then distribute it to us as consumers so we can, put fertilizers on our grass, whatnot, use fertilizers for.
To make that make sense, if the merchant is paying more, the consumer will then have to pay more because the original trade costs more to get here. So that conversion that was once $963 million for fertilizer from Russia is going to become 48 billion US dollars for us to get fertilizers from Russia. If the US is paying more for it, best believe the merchant is going to pay more, and best believe we as consumers are going to pay more. And essentially, that's what it is. So let's use an example of a fertilizer. I printed out this beautiful page of Google. Currently, if you are buying 50 pounds of fertilizer, like a bag of 50-pound fertilizer, it'll be between $110 to $325. And the average cost per 50 pounds of that is like $215. So you're just gonna take that $215, multiply it by 50, add American tax for your local state and whatnot. That's gonna be the new price for it, because at the macro level, they're paying more for it. Therefore, at the micro level, as consumers, we will then in turn have to pay more for it. Literally anything and everything, because I also printed out the list of things we import from India. We import machinery, nuclear reactors, boilers, electrical equipment, organic chemicals, mineral fuels, oil. Like, these are all things, like, the value right now, as of 2022 from India, those things are valued at like 9 million, 9 billion. Nothing is lower than billion, to be honest, except for these ones right here. Everything is like 9 million, 9 billion. So if they have to go past billions and they're just gonna do that times their new currency, we're really genuinely, we won't be able to afford the most basic human stuff. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I was trying to express. So I hope this answers your question. All right, that's it. Stay up.
So with the cost of living going up, I decided to stop getting shit done, because I also think it's unnecessary. So I started by getting rid of my eyelash extensions, so I no longer have those. I don't dye my hair anymore, so no more bleach, no more highlights. That's my regrowth right now. I just took off my nails, shellac. This is my natural nails now. They're so brittle and broken and weak. No more Botox. I don't feel like I even need it because I don't have wrinkles, so why the fuck am I even doing this? It's not a preventative, that's bullshit. Nothing prevents you from aging. It's gonna happen anyways. No more fillers in my lips either, because who the fuck told us that duck lips look good? Anyway, so yeah, this is the new me. I'm gonna go all natural. I don't know who told us to get all this shit done. It's just unnecessary and just wasted money. Not to mention, and all of that stuff that us women get done is so damaging. So if you dye your hair or bleach it and all that stuff, it's obviously not good for your hair. It's going to cause damage. Getting my nails done for the past year has damaged them. Having had eyelash extensions got me an allergy and I almost had to go to hospital. So there you go. Everything that us women get done is actually really fucking bad. And not to mention, it is so time consuming going to all these appointments all the time and just sitting there for hours. Back to fillers and Botox, right? So I've been getting lip filler for the past 8 years or so. And so many times it's happened, because there's a risk with everything, that the filler would migrate to the top of my lips, like up here. And then I would have to get it dissolved and then redone, which is so painful. And then 10 months ago was the last time I got them done. And now there's like a little bubble here somewhere, which is also something that can happen, which also needs to get dissolved. And when it comes to Botox, it doesn't get rid of your wrinkles. It literally just freezes the muscles in your forehead, which is actually really bad. And that's only very temporarily. So you have to get it done all the time. And it's just so much money. And it doesn't stop you from aging anyway. So what is the point?
Hey, you don't think London's bad, bro? They're charging $10.29 for cocoa butter and $11.49. Yeah, it's long. It's long. An hour's wages to cream your leg. It's long, bro. It's alright, bro. Me, I'll go that, yeah. And just do that on my skin. Are you alright? $11. Hi! I told my dad it was $11 when I was a kid to cream me. He would just lie on the floor. He says, okay, put on your singlets.
Here are the 3 things that I will not give up as the cost of living increases. Getting my hair done. I refuse to not get my hair done. That is the one thing for me. For some girls, it's nails. For some girls, it's your toes. But for me, it's my hair. Like, I need to have my hair done. I do not have the luxury of knowing how to do my own cornrows or how to braid my own hair. Those genes were not passed down to me. I don't know how to do a lot of hairstyles by myself. Like this, I paid somebody to do. Like, the girlies be charging. You got to do some digging and try to find the right person that has those price ranges for you. Like, I found out that my cousin does hair, and I have a video on that if you want to watch it on my page of getting my braids done. These knotless braids cost me $180. This is week 4 of my hair. We are still doing good. Honestly, to me, it's worth it in the long run because you can refresh them and make them last longer. The second thing that I will not give up is vacations. Your girl works 40 hours a week. I need to be able to go somewhere and blow off some steam, enjoy my time, like relax or have fun or experience the world. Like, I don't care how expensive it gets. I will always budget traveling because traveling, I love going to places. I was in Mexico a few months ago. I was in New York like 2 months ago. I already have my next trip planned, okay? The things that I get, like, we're willing to give up in my other video that I was talking about, saving that money provides me the ability to be able to travel because I'm saving money on those things. The last thing that I absolutely refuse to give up, my skincare routine. I use Paula's Choice products and I'm obsessed with her stuff, and her stuff is a little bit more higher and a little bit more expensive, but I also use drugstore brands as well. I also use La Roche-Posay and CeraVe and those things as well. But I will spend money on that because that is a luxury to me that is worth spending money on. Let me know in the comments, like, what are the things that you refuse to give up even though the cost of living is insane?
Rent is so expensive that the average minimum wage worker needs either 3 roommates or 4 jobs to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. In fact, there's not a single state in America where a minimum wage worker that's full-time can afford a 2-bedroom apartment. If you live in a state like Arkansas, I used to live there, the minimum wage is like $7.25. You have to work 90 hours a week to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. You have to work 74 hours a week to afford a 1-bedroom apartment. Someone explained to me why we're acting like the workers are the problems when the corporations that are arbitrarily pushing prices up on rent, food, laying off workers, all to maximize their profit. How is this sustainable? How is the system sustainable? Somebody needs to do something. Like, it's like they're putting a squeeze on us. I don't know if you feel like it's, I feel like It's a squeeze right now.
Thousands and thousands of years of human civilization and we still can't get this stuff right. Why does it cost so much money just to be alive? I have to pay a bunch of money, which is a bunch of my time and labor, just to have a space to occupy. And within that space that I allegedly own, there's a ton of rules about what I can and can't do with it. And not only that, once you fully pay for this overpriced bit of earth that really nobody had the right to own in the first place, no matter what, based on how much it's worth, decided by, again, somebody else, you have to pay the government money every year just to keep having it, or else you go to jail and they keep it. Our ancestors, early hunter-gatherers, spent at most 15 hours a week providing themselves with food, hunting, foraging, and gathering. The rest of the time, they were just chilling, painting zebra dicks in caves and stuff, having a great time around a fire, singing, doing other stuff, magic mushrooms. All of it was free because the earth provides us. But then some people said, that's my earth, okay? I'll provide you in exchange. But we vibed for hundreds of thousands of years before at one point in time we fucked up bad. And yeah, we ended up with smartphones and TikTok and stuff and Taco Bell. All of that's cool. But here's the thing you never hear about. Everybody talks about all this innovation that capitalism brings, and they love to use an iPhone as an example, but guess what? Apple didn't invent shit. This is about to blow your mind. You know who invented the touchscreen you're watching this on right now? The government. Your tax dollars. Remember that shit I talked about how I gotta pay just to live? Some of that paid for this shit. The internet, again, the government. Insulin, the government. Touchscreens were developed by a grant from the Library of Congress. And what the fuck does Steve Jobs have to do with that? I'm glad he's dead, I said it. And while we're at it, we don't need to utilize slave and child labor to have all these nice things in technology. We just choose to so that certain people can have certain super mega yachts that they only use 2 days out of the year. It just blows my mind that so much human suffering happens every fucking day so that trillions of dollars can just sit in a computer in somebody's account doing nothing. Elon Musk paid $40-some billion for Twitter? You know how much human suffering could be ended with $40-some billion? Probably fucking most of it, to be honest, but nobody would ever do that. I just want a simple life. I don't need to be a billionaire. Everyone would be better if they never existed. Nobody earned that.
You're literally saying eat the rich because you're subconsciously telling yourself that you'll never be rich.
We are saying eat the rich because the rich and the wealthy are literally making the wealth gap so big that the poor are being unalived. I don't know how many times people have to tell y'all this, but most of us are closer to being out on the street than ever seeing six figures. The cost of living is so ridiculous right now that you have to have more than one job. I don't know if y'all are watching what is going on in San Diego with houselessness, but it's really fucking terrible. Watch this clip.
You get told that everything you own is getting thrown away, and if you try to touch it, you go to jail, which makes it even worse on you. I've been ticketed for homelessness, I've been arrested for homelessness, and I've been told that I'm going to get arrested anywhere in San Diego County.
It is literally illegal to be houseless, but the way that systemic oppression works, once you're houseless, it's extremely difficult to not be houseless. People keep bringing empathy into this, and they're like, oh, you lack empathy if you don't care about those billionaires who were on that submarine. I've been around a lot of rich people, and I've been around a lot of wealthy people. There is this bubble that they get put in to the point where they don't see houseless people. They think that houselessness is not a problem, and they think that anybody who becomes houseless or anybody who is experiencing poverty got that way because of poor life choices. Not, because of our shitty healthcare system, which slams slams people with these giant bills, and the fact that people get sick in the first place because they can't afford food that's not filled with poison. Also, rent control is not a thing. Minimum wage is still ridiculously low. COVID, I can just keep going all day. The point is that we're being so brainwashed into thinking that we can escape poverty. And the point is that the way that this country is going, that is extremely difficult. And if you want to bring spirituality into this, when you're doing money manifestations, you're supposed to wish abundance on other people. You're not supposed to turn away from systemic problems. You're actively supposed to help and hope for abundance for everyone, and question and fight against those who are hoarding wealth, which is limiting the resources for everybody else. So on a spiritual level, if you want to take it there, being a billionaire is against spirituality, because to get to that level of wealth, you have to oppress thousands upon thousands of people. Eat the rich isn't this crab in a barrel concept where we don't want anybody to win. We want everybody to win, and the problem is that is not fucking happening. I'm logging off for today. My blood pressure is too high for this. I just need to say my piece.